Hello once more guys, this is Odinson and you are watching another video review. As we continue to go down the road towards Spider-Man Homecoming, we have a lot of work to do. This time we're going to focus on the origin of the supervillain Vulture, as well as his powers and abilities. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
You threatening me? Tombs! Tombs, are you there? Tombs!
Okay, so to touch upon our last video for a moment, we discussed how the Vulture first appeared in The Amazing Spider-Man issue 2, which was published in 1963. He was introduced as a cunning and deadly adversary, but mostly as a small-time conman. He was focusing on stealing rather than any other endeavors of higher purpose. Still, we did not touch upon his true origin, and that will, among other things, be our today's topic. So Adrian Toomes, he was once a semi-successful developer and electrical engineer who worked hard in a company under the name of B&T Electronics, along with his longtime partner Greg Bestman. Just when he was about to get to a breakthrough in his research, Toomes was stabbed in the back by his partner, who took everything away from Adrian, claiming his work for himself. Toomes was left with nothing but anger and despair, so he turned to a life of villainy. He used his newly engineered suit to become the Vulture. Now, fueled by his rage, not long after that, the Vulture found Bestman, kidnapped him, and got his revenge. In one issue, Spider-Man succeeds at saving Greg, but in another one, the Vulture kills Bestman by snapping his neck. Now, let's move on to his powers and his abilities. When he has his suit on, Toomes has the ability of flight and superhuman strength. He was also able to break Spider-Man's web, which is pretty impressive since the webbing is super strong. To be precise, it is estimated that its strength is around 120 pounds per square millimeter, which can go even higher. So much so that it can stop a speeding car and even more. In some instances, however, Toomes has the mechanism that regenerates his youth by stealing the years from someone else. So when the Vulture is outmatched in sheer power and strength, he usually resorts to gadgets. He has been known to use bombs, pistols, and various armor gadgets to keep himself safe in battle. His armor is bulletproof when it comes to small arms, and he can also produce electric shocks with his armor, which is pretty useful if someone is constantly hanging on to you. Yep, Spidey, we're looking at you, buddy. After a while, he even joined a notorious group which vowed to destroy Spider-Man, called the Sinister Six, whose roster is changing every now and then. Originally, these were the members of the group: Mysterio, Electro, Vulture, Doc Ock, Kraven, and Sandman. And there you have it. That's Vulture 101, which should give you enough info for the upcoming movie. But how does this Vulture compare to the one we're getting in the MCU? Although they are pretty similar in looks and firearms, they seem to be driven by different things. As far as we know from interviews and what we've seen in the trailer, the Vulture is trying to be a provider for his family, and he thinks that the world is unjust for praising the likes of the Avengers. In a way, he is trying to expose the corrupt nature of them, especially of Tony Stark. Also, Stark is funding damage control in the movies, a company that deals with cleaning up whatever is left after heroes are done fighting, and that just happens to be where Adrian Toomes is working, at least in the movie. And that means that Stark is making money by causing destruction, which is what pisses Toomes off even more. And yeah, the Vulture also appeared in cartoons and video games throughout the years. While he may not be one of those villains that can conquer the world, he was always a good opponent to Spider-Man who actually could match him in some of the maneuvers. Also, he is witty and throws a pun or two, which gives us all the more reason to like him. I think we can wrap it up now. I hope you enjoyed this, and make sure to watch the first episode of Vulture Review, where we actually discussed his first appearance, and I'll leave a link or an annotation that will take you there if you wish. As always, make sure to comment and tell us what you thought and how can we improve this even more. And yeah, next we'll do Shocker, his origin and first appearances, as well as powers and abilities. Until next time, Versers. See ya!
Next.